My name is Coach Trisha J, Prophet Trisha J, something Trisha J to you. I am co-leader of Truth Seekers International. We are a fasting and praying ministry. We pray the first 3 days of every single month as a first fruit unto the Lord. Put our flesh down, position ourselves to hear from Him. Um, and so we are actually here for the 2026 prophecy for the year. And I was just about to say that if you're watching live, go ahead and type in live. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and type in replay. If you know somebody that is looking to hear a word from the Lord for the year, share this with them. Sorry I'm a little bit late, but it is a school day and I had to make sure them kids were good. And then um, people asking me to do hair like I don't do my own hair, y'all. Are y'all cool? Are you cool? Lord, He knew when I had these kids, 4 girls. I cried every time because I don't do hair, Lord. I don't. My hair is wild, and she don't listen to do. She do what she want to do. Um, and you want me to take care of these kids and their hair? So, so I had to fix hair, excuse me, and all those things. Um, so a little bit later, but here we are. I wanted to make certain that we hopped in. I got some things that we need to talk about. I got some things that we need to talk about. Okay. And so, y'all know I am really big on mapping out your year. And so, I want you to take some time to see what that looks like. I'm trying to get the cover girls and the truth seekers in, so give me a little bit. Anywho, so we are going to actually read from the book of Joel. I do want us to do that. Joel is a good book for me. We love Joel. Joel is, for me as a coach and a strategist, I do a lot with Joel, and not just the write the vision, make it plain piece, obviously, right? I hope y'all know that. But Joel is a book that I want us to, specifically chapter 2. I want us to take some time and walk through that, because when it comes to mapping out what your year looks like, I want you to prayerfully consider Joel chapter 2, because it gives you a prophetic framework, okay? So it's not just about goals, and I'm big on goals, right? I help people win the year. This is time where I am usually opening up my books to help people strategize and that sort of thing. But as a prophetic person and as a prophet, holding the office of prophet, that's literally one of my giftings and where I am aligned, okay? So it's not just about goals, but it is about alignment. It is about restoration, and it is about acceleration. And so I am calling this year Destiny Acceleration, or Destiny Alignment. Either way, alignment is happening, acceleration and restoration are happening under the moniker of Destiny Alignment. Okay? So let's talk about, let's read Joel chapter 2. Let's start there, okay? And then I will walk y'all through the things that the Lord has been sharing with me for this year. We are going to read I think I want to do the ESV version for Joel chapter 2. Blow a trumpet in Zion, sound an alarm on my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord is coming. It is near, a day of darkness and gloom, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Like blackness, there is spread upon the mountains of great and powerful people. There, like it has never been before, nor will be after them. Through the years of all generations, Fires devour before them, and behind them a flame burns. The land is like the Garden of Eden before them, but behind them a desolate wilderness, and nothing escapes them. Their appearance is like the appearances of horses, and like war horses they run. As with the rumbling of chariots, they leap on the tops of the mountains, like the crackling of a flame of fire devouring the stubble, like a powerful army drawn up for battle. Whoever said something, I will not see it until the replay. Sorry, friends. Verse 6, before them, peoples are in anguish. All faces grow pale. Like warriors, they charge. Like soldiers, they scale the wall. They march each on his way. They do not swerve from their paths. You hear that? They don't swerve from their paths. They do not jostle one another. Each marches in his path. They burst through the weapons and are not halted. They leap upon the city. They run upon the walls. They climb up into the houses. They enter through the windows like a thief. The earth quakes before them, the heavens tremble. The sun and the moon are darkened, and the stars withdraw their shining. The Lord utters his voice before his army, for his camp is exceedingly great. He who executes his word is powerful. Yeah, go ahead and underline that. For the day of the Lord is great and very awesome. Who can endure it? Verse 12. Ooh, baby, we reading. Well, I'll leave it there. We got it's a lot more, but I really want to just jump in. Okay, so let's go to verse 15, and then I'll stop after that. Okay, because I just want to encourage you to go in and just study Joel, and just let the Lord speak to you. Okay. Blow the trumpet in Zion, consecrate a fast, call a solemn assembly, gather the people, consecrate the congregation, assemble the elders, gather the children, even nursing infants. Let the bridegroom leave his room and bride her chamber. Okay. So, um, usually before we plan a year, what do? We start to map it out. We do a fast, right? We do a prayer retreat. People have a word for the year. My word is confidence. Minister Key and I talked about doing like a word for the month to focus on. That is, confidence will be my overarching word, and then each other word for the month will be something that works toward that. But I'm saying all that to say, I want you to think about and pray about and seek the Lord about what it is that He's asking you to lay down, because this is a year where we got to get focused. Okay. What is He asking you to lay down, but also what is He asking you to lean into, because this is uh, where we are, and this is why we fasted at the end of the year. It seems this is why we fast the first 3 days of every month. And so we start off immediately with clarity and urgency. Blow the trumpet in Zion. Okay, so I want you to think about, as we're talking and as I am just sharing what the Lord shared with me, what's your main assignment? Who is your main audience? And what is your main outcome? Okay, because when you can outline what your framework is, you know the boundaries that you have for the year. Okay, and so then this year for sure is a return with your whole heart. So when we got to Joel chapter 2 verse 13, render your heart not your garments. This is a year where the Lord is requiring a lot of inner work first. A lot of inner work needs to happen first. And so I want you to seek the Lord about what inner shifts need to happen for the external fruit to last, because some of us have been slowed down as a means of protection. The Lord wants to give you whatever it is that He promised you and somebody prophesied, but you have to have character, discipline, frameworks to keep it. And the Lord will slow you down if you don't. Integrity, you gotta have integrity to keep it, okay? So I just want to make sure that I call those things out, because some of the inner healing or inner goals that we should be focusing on are healing patterns. renewing your mind. So what does that talk track look like? Because negative talk, I'm over it. When I tell you I'm over it, don't call me complaining. I'm at this point, I'm ready to just hang up. I won't answer. I'm over it. Rest boundaries, thought life upgrades. I want you to pair every external goal with an internal posture. Okay? So for me, I'll give you an example. The Lord is just on me so much more about fitness. And so one of the internal goals for me when it comes to the fitness stuff is obedience over perfection. I didn't get this big overnight. I'm not going to get, healthy and smaller overnight, okay? This is not surgery. This is a process. So I'm saying all that to say we got work to do. So let's jump into everything else that the Lord has been sharing with me. And I got my notes. So let's do it. The Lord is definitely giving divine responses and provision this year. Okay. And so I'm talking about resources, connection, wisdom, unexpected favor. And so I am challenging you to plan boldly. Plan boldly because provision is assumed, not feared. We know that the Lord has it, it's in His budget. He doesn't have a budget. You know how sometimes you have kids, even if you don't have kids of your own, everybody has kids in their neighborhood. Everybody has kids that are a part of their village. And sometimes the kids will be like, that's a lot of money. Excuse me? Who told you that? Who told you that? Prime example, I told y'all Pastor John's birthday is coming up. So he is the fiscally responsible. He won't buy anything for himself. He will, take care of everyone else in the house. So I usually am the person that buys, like, I buy extravagant things for him. I buy nice quality things for him because I know he won't do it. He will take it and spend it on all of us, mostly the kids, and the dogs, and the house. And he'll do nice things for me, but, we have an understanding. And so he's almost been like the kids. Like, well, that's a lot of money. Yeah, it is. But do you know who that is? Because when you have to pay for something for these kids and they say, that's a lot of money, you say, that's not your job to worry about. And even being the man of the house, guess what? You still have a father. Abba Father is the provider. So we have been seeing all these different stories. And I love them because they have been so cool to watch. Different people sharing, like, I'm trying to find, I think I found one. Sharing, like, how they feel about the Lord. And it's really just like God saying different things, and I don't know if I can find it, but I thought it was cool. One of them was, I don't have a budget. Like, don't worry about my budget. What you worry about my budget for? You have to ask and do the thing, and that is a big one in this season. The Lord is challenging you, and so I want you to really pay attention because for your destiny alignment, God really is providing divine responses and provisions to the things that you need. And, so the kids, they'll be like, that's kind of expensive. That's not for you to call out. That's not your concern. And so I had to do that to Pastor John today because his birthday is coming up and he was just like, well, don't get me anything. I beg your pardon. Absolutely gonna get you something. Actually, let's just go walk the mall and see. Because he is one of those people. He is not I like shopping online. He's not an online shopper. He needs to touch it, feel it, try it on. That irritates me. I don't like none of that. He is all about it. Okay, I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm gonna look at the little inserts and see how much it. Oh, okay, that's about that many inches. I'm that many centimeters or inches. I don't want to do none of that. He's gonna do all of the things. And so I thought it was really really good for him to see what it is that he would want, and I just got him his gift that he wanted anyway. And you could just see his little countenance change, and I was like, what is happening here? I'm so confused because you know God is moving on your behalf. Number one, already God is moving on your behalf, and so there are places that I know you have to go this year. You need to make sure that you look the part and you are prepared. Um, and you act like you belong there because you do. You're supposed to be there. Okay? And so I'm saying that because there's a lot of imposter syndrome that's happening. There's a lot of people that are super overqualified and they feel like they still need something else. You don't. You need God. God is the CEO. You be the COO. And so write out your provision list. Okay? What are the resources that you need? One of the things that I say all the time is I need a me. And I need a me. I am usually the person that runs behind the scenes and I get everything together for my team to make sure that everything goes off without a hitch. I make sure the event goes off. I make sure that the everybody's in place. I make sure that the run of show is happening the way that it needs to. I need a me. What resources do you need to accomplish the things that the Lord has showed you that you need to accomplish? When I was writing my first book and I didn't have the money to publish, I was like, Lord, number one, I need money to publish, but I need somebody that's going to edit this. Like, what resources do you need? Write out the things that you already know what you're supposed to be doing. Write out the resources that you need. Write out the connections. Destiny connections are so important. I would not have published my first book without Darlene Dickinson. That was a destiny connection that was huge for me. Okay. Um, Wisdom. What wisdom do you need to accomplish the things? And also, please be praying for unexpected favor because a lot of that's going to happen. That is how we are aligning and getting you from a place where you are to where you need to be. It's going to be destiny alignment. And so I want you to plan boldly because faith plans bigger than fear ever could. Why? Because if you plan safely, then is it by faith? Because anything by faith, you know you need God for it. Just saying, okay? So, um, there will be different signs. You're going to see discomfort as you look in Joel and meditate on Joel. It's a lot happening in their time, right? Which is why the people have to write the vision and make it plain. It was not a good time. And remember, if you remember what I told you at the beginning of last year, 5785 is going to be the best of times and the worst of times at the same time. We are still in that season. Okay, so yes, Joel has a lot going on, and that's why it's part of the framework. It's going to be a lot going on. You're going to see a lot of changes, and I mean a lot of changes. Okay, so the Lord is going to do restoration of lost time, and we see that in Joel chapter 2, verse 25. If you were here for Revelation, you already know what locusts stand for. He says, I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten and that the cankerworm has eaten. There is going to be a level of compound grace that we receive. And so I want you to pay attention to those delayed dreams, those paused projects, those almost seasons, those things that just kind of fell away. The Lord is going to be bringing a lot of those things back, okay? There are going to be shorter timelines. There are going to be fewer steps. It's going to be a greater return. And this is not a catch up. He's not here to catch you up. It's more so like a catch fire, okay? So discomfort is still going to be a thing, okay? But discomfort is also the sign that your life is changing, okay? It feels uncomfortable. Sit in it, lean into it, and do the work. Just going back to fitness because everybody can relate is usually just uncomfortable. Wear the pants that are too tight. Be uncomfortable because then it'll motivate you to be like, maybe I shouldn't go for that extra. Maybe I don't need that dessert. Yeah, I'm going to drink some water because I need to eat my calories. Um, and it really is a sign that your life is changing because then at some point, those clothes don't fit tight anymore. They don't. They start actually fitting a little bit more comfortable. Okay? Um, so Joel 2 is the 2026 template. I want you to meditate on that as often as possible. Um, but with that, even though all these uncomfortable things are happening, God is reversing misfortunes. Okay, and so there is an overflow and recompense that is happening, and you'll see that a little bit more in Joel chapter 2:26. And so I want you to think about what overflow looks like for you in real time. Okay? Because overflow for me is the fact that no matter who comes over to my house, there's always going to be something to eat. I can feed my family of 7 plus several more at any given time at the drop of a hat. That is what overflow looks like for me. We don't lack when it comes to making sure that there is financial and food provision. Okay. So I want you to define what overflow looks like for you. And so for overflow, that might mean I have a baseline of $5,000 in my high yield savings account. And that is my zero. So overflow means anything after that 5,000 mark. That is what I would consider overflow. I have a baseline of $300 in my checking account. Anything after 300 I would consider overflow. My annual salary is X. Excuse me. What I would consider overflow would be my other streams of income, my little side hustles, my um, fitness job. So let's just say if your annual salary is 80K. Annual salary is 80K. I know most people don't make that, but that's a blessing if you do. Okay. Annual salary is 80K. That is your baseline. Overflow is anything over 80K. Okay. So I just want to give you a number, give you something so that way you can see and have an example because I need you to write down what overflow looks like for you. Okay. Overflow, hello, can be, we love a good stockpile. Couponing helps a lot, especially in this time. So that can be what is overflow looks different for everyone. Define what your overflow is and what that looks like in real terms. Okay, I'm talking about income targets. For me, overflow is having options and the freedom to not have to do everything. So I gave up a lot of my fitness days because I don't want to work 7 days a week. No, thank you. I like having the freedom to get up and have a slow Saturday morning because Sundays are out of the question. We get up early to pray. By the way, I need to see more of y'all at prayer because y'all better. Okay. I just want to call it out in my mama voice. More people need to be getting in prayer because this year is not going to operate well without prayer. Period. And I'm not talking about somebody else praying for you. You need to be on your face praying, which is why we're experiencing discomfort. Okay. But for me, rest days, that's important. So I took some time off so that way I can make sure that I am pouring into myself with rest. I'm going to sell this, but this is a thing that I made, excuse me, for me and my high performing good girlfriends. And so it is something that I use to, excuse me, sorry for making all of the noise, but it's something that I use to keep myself honest and integral about pouring into myself, seeing that the Lord is good, enjoying sweet moments little by little. And so that is overflow for me. Making sure that I do one to three nice things for myself throughout the day, several times a day. And so whether that's taking my vitamins, prayer, Bible study, having a morning walk, doing my affirmations, cleaning up, because cleanliness is next to godliness, and you gotta have structure. Those things help out a lot. Okay, so what is a joy marker for you? I like silence, but silence is not a joy marker for me. Silence is a Trisha is about to lock in and work marker for me. A joy marker for me, accomplishing my goals. When I get into the thick of it and I'm like knocking stuff out, that makes me so happy. When I get to pour into other people's cups, like just having lunch with a good girlfriend, or we're working on goals, those things fill my cup. My therapist called it out one day, and I was like, dang, you didn't have to clock my tea like that. But when I am around good people and it doesn't feel draining, because people be doing a lot, emotions are a lot, and as a prophet I just I don't need all that extra. When I'm just trying to be a human, give me fun. Okay, that's all I need. What do your joy markers look like? Because you need to know what overflow is defined in your life for joy. Okay, and I want you to celebrate those milestones publicly and privately, which is why we're doing mindset shifts of the day. Overflow is stewardship, not guilt. Okay, and so your overflow will look different. Everybody's overflow will not look the same. Everybody does not care about money. Overflow for somebody is being debt free. Overflow for somebody is having their car paid off. Overflow for somebody is having a cash car, so that way they don't put a lot of extra miles on, their car that they're paying a note on. So, that's a shooter. We call it a cash car or a shooter in Michigan. I don't know what y'all call it. What do y'all call it? Where are you from? But like, I call it either a cash car or a shooter, and that's just like, it's not a brand new car, but it's the car that you go and run your errands in, so you can keep your nice car. But that is overflow for somebody. So I just want to make sure that we call those things out. And so because God is reversing misfortunes, you're going to see several instances of what overflow looks like in your life. And that's going to be different for everyone. And I'm excited to see it. So when you start to experience the overflow, I'm not going to ask you for nothing. I just want to know, because I love seeing the examples of what overflow looks like. I love seeing God move. And I'm like, that's an answered prayer. Thank you, Lord. So I just want to call those things out, okay? There are these secrets that the Lord wants to share. The Lord wants to share so many more secrets. He wants to talk, and people just aren't getting up to pray. People just aren't getting up during their watch times. And so we got to fix that, because how can God release the deep and the secret things? They are held in the mind of God. You can write out a prayer, but if you just close your eyes and trust the Lord because you've been reading the word, you'd be surprised how the Lord allows you to access the mind of God while you're praying. At this point, I used to write out full sermons and have bullet points and notes, because that's how my bishop taught me. Now I just have bullet points, and I just allow God to move. Here are the scriptures. Here go the key points I know I need to touch, and I allow God to, you know, operate and for the mind of God to come in, because he gonna say what he want to say anyway. So after I found myself saying this is not in my notes a whole bunch, I was like, maybe I need to rework how I do my sermon notes. And so I study and I have my study notes, but my sermon notes are just okay, whatever the Lord wants to do. Okay. But there are deep and secret things in the mind of God that he wants to share if you would just get up and pray. Get up and fast. Get up during your watch time. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't be wanting to get up in the morning. Okay, I've already pushed the time back for us. And I was talking to Minister Helena earlier. We were cracking up talking about it. And sometimes you just gotta eat it. Sometimes you just gotta eat it and get up and pray, and you're not gonna sleep in. But God is so good; He'll restore your tiredness and give you strength to get through the day. Because He wanted to share a secret with you. Okay? This is going to be a season where He is releasing strategies that some of the strategies are going to intercept delay. Like, delay is not going to happen because you have the strategy. And then some of the strategies are going to align you to where you are accelerated, which is why I'm calling this year destiny alignment. Okay, it's going to accelerate you. And so you're going to have to get to be in a space where you are not well, God, 1+1 = 2. Well, guess what? It ain't going to make a lot of sense in this season. 1+1 might equals red. Okay. And only you will know what that means. And so you're going to have to get to a space to where you are trusting the Lord, because the instructions won't be clear, so that way they can't be intercepted by the enemy. Okay. So you're going to have to trust him. That means you're going to have to have a deeper level of intimacy so you can hear him and know what he's saying to you. And that means you're going to be in your word a whole bunch more. Okay. 2026 is going to be a year of clarity, but only to those who are faithful. So this is not a year where you are going to be hopping around, um, listening to prophet after prophet after prophet after prophet to get prophecy after prophecy after prophecy after prophecy to see what this year is going to be like, or to know what your future is, because you don't need to know what your future is. You need to know what the word of the Lord says, what the strategy is of this season, and you need to move on it. Okay? Because what is the point of getting all of these prophecies if you're not going to do anything with it? That's crazy. And that's a lot of ego. Because why do you need to know everything? You're not God. And for you to know the things and not move is wicked work. Okay? So, I want to call that out. For the faithful, it's going to be a year where you have clarity like never before. Okay. And so when I do my strategy calls, I'm drilling down on what you need to do. Why? Because you need clarity. When you know what you're supposed to do, when you have that clarity, everything else is a distraction. As an entrepreneur, you don't need 50 products. What's your products and services that you're offering? It's okay if it's 2. And then you know anything else outside of those 2, that's out of your scope. Stop trying to do everything. Okay? With that, you're going to have a new level of clarity, which means you're going to have new boundaries. But it's going to be, it's going to be, I don't want to say regarded, but it's going to be contingent upon your level of consecration. So for some of y'all, we fasted 21 days at the end of the year, and then we did the first fruit fast, and then y'all had to run right into a whole nother level of consecration, or a whole nother 21 however many day consecration. That's because the Lord is trying to give you new innovation. He's trying to help you take your business to the next level. He's trying to help you get over the financial hurdle that you have been stuck in, that financial rut. Okay, and that is honestly, truly, because there is a financial shaking that is about to happen. But the Lord is giving you those witty inventions, those ideas that during those times of consecration. So um, be intentional during the first fruit fast and seek the Lord about what it is that He would have for you to be focusing on as you are turning down your plate, as you are consecrating. Okay. And so here's the thing. Um, there is going to be an outpouring for impact because the Lord really does need to pour out His Spirit on all flesh. We see that in Joel as well. But I need you to ask the Lord and seek the Lord. Who's supposed to be impacted by what God is pouring into me? I know I'm a leader to leaders. If you gravitate to me, I'm not for everybody. Okay? I'm not for no wimps. I'm not for no punks. I'm not the prissy girl. That's not me. It's not authentic to how God made me. Okay? But if you want to get some stuff done, you want to run your house like a Fortune 500 machine, you want to raise your kids and your family in the fear and admonition of the Lord, you want to be earning 6, 7, 10 figures, I can help with those things. I do that. I have a proven track record for all that. But it's not coming in the package that you think that it is. I'm not for everybody, and I'm okay with that. I'm a leader to leaders. Those who gravitate to me, they like it real. They like leaders that can keep it real. Have you ever had a leader and they never told you you were wrong? They never gave you feedback, and you're just like, what are we doing here? Because I know I'm not doing everything right. Yeah, I'm not afraid to tell you what you're doing wrong. But it's because I love you and I want to help you get to where God has you to be. And so if that means we got to have some hard conversations, or I got to tell you complain too much, or you don't stay on task, I'm going to do that. Okay? So, um, who's supposed to be impacted by what God is pouring into you? And I want you to map out what those impact lanes look like: business, ministry, family, fitness, finances, professional. The anointing flows best when it has somewhere to go. So you need to be intentional with where you're going to be um, focusing your outpouring. Is it evangelism? What does that look like? Okay. So um, I want you to think about those things, pray about them, and move forward with that. Financial shaking is happening. Um, Pastor John and I keep talking about it. It's so funny because our covering, he don't talk a lot of money, and he been talking about money. Um, uh, and he has even been talking about cryptocurrency. That's the thing. And so I'm not a financial advisor, but it don't take a rocket scientist to see that they are trying to make sure that this dollar fails. So please get on top of your business. Pastor John and I, we talk about those things with our friends and with people that we trust. But if you are not, I got a new phone, so I can't even show you. Okay, let's see. If you are not into cryptocurrency, you need to get there. Okay, you need to get there. You need to get to what do you call it? Uphold, Coinbase, Robinhood. Shoot, I think even Cash App is allowing you to buy cryptocurrency. So I can't show you because it wants me to verify and do all these things. No, I'm not doing all that right now. Because I got a new phone. Who told me to get a new phone with 500 apps and I'm still not logged into all of them? wild times. But yes, this is when the dollar falls, when it falls. Recessions are great opportunities for people to become millionaires, and so millionaires are made in recessions. I want you to get to a space where you're not scared to make money. My daughter, number three, she is working now. She's like, "Can I get a Roth IRA?" And I'm like, yes, 1,000%. But you have to have a custodial one because you're a minor. So that means we have to, go through a few extra steps. But the great thing about it is I love that you're thinking about this, and she ain't really making no lot of money just yet. She is in the medical industry, so they're not real consistent checks. But the fact that she finally has her own money coming in, she's thinking about it. I love, because when you really start to get into the finances, when you start reading the books and you take economics and you learn about compound interest and all those things, you're like, dang, if I had just put $100 a month up when I was 15, I'd be a millionaire now. She's already thinking like that. That's overflow for me, for my kids to start off with good credit and, be thinking about those things. They're going to be millionaires before they're 30, just from just practical things, not even the starting businesses and all, just little practical things that you know our parents didn't teach us coming up. So that's a blessing, and I'm grateful for that. Um, and so don't let the financial shaking that's on the way scare you. Scare money don't make money, period. Okay. And we'll talk more about finances later on in the year. I'll have some sermons coming on that. But you have to be willing to invest. You don't get something for nothing. Okay. There is a cost, there's a price that we all pay. Okay. So sign up for Fidelity. They have like free workshops that they send in my email all the time. They have some that pop up in my work email. Sign up for those things. Take advantage because you need to be investing in financial literacy, and you just need to be listening to the news so that way when you see things happening, it's no big deal. Buy cryptocurrency. I love that. I think XRP it is, has been like going down. Thank you. Every time you go down, I'm gonna buy some more because when they go back up, let me get some good money from the cryptocurrencies. Okay. Because if I could become a millionaire off of that, oh baby, I'm out of work. See y'all. I'm out of here. Quickly. Quickly, Jessica. Um, so that way I can do what the Lord needs me to do. But where we are going, you can't afford to be poor. Okay. So don't be afraid of this financial shaking. Okay. Why? Because the Lord is still allowing idols to fall. Idols are falling. We've been talking about idols for 2 years now. Okay. Idols are still falling. And so the Lord is allowing anyone who is finding their security in anything other than Him to be exposed. And so we know if you hang around people with money and they don't know the Lord, they the stock market is doing this, and oh my goodness, and I just lost this much money. First of all, this whole thing is a game. Let's not act like you're not gonna get this money back. You, you just got caught up in getting to look at your accounts and seeing that it has this certain number in your Roth IRA, 401k. I forget. It's some other ones. Um, but in your money market and all those, the Lord is not playing about that because do you know me? Do you know me for real? Because I don't care about none of that, right? First of all, I'm trying to get rid of the dollar anyway. So there's that. because I own all the cattle on the hill. Okay? So don't get caught up on what those things should look like. Anything that you feel secure in. I got a job. Do you? Do you? Do you pay attention to the layoff reports? Because they usually will send the reports before the companies actually lay the people off. Don't get too comfortable. Make sure that you keep your eye on the Lord. Okay? It's very important. And so anything that you feel is keeping you secure and is not Jesus Christ himself is going to be exposed in this season. Okay? So I just want to call out, we're going to start this year with a bang. We are starting this year with a bang. Pay attention to the government. You're about to see a lot of seats. Um, so it's not by happenstance that you are seeing people like Jasmine Crockett go for different offices. You're going to see people leave a lot of offices too. All the Senate seats are up for re-election this year. Vote appropriately, but even before then, you're going to see a lot of changes during that time. People are just going to start resigning. You're going to see new people. You're going to see... We're starting off with a bang, okay? It's going to be very, very interesting. But the financial idols are falling. Governmental idols are falling. Okay? Systems are being shaken. So that's why I'm like, you really can't get caught up on corporate employment. The Lord is your provider. Don't get caught up on that. Okay? There's going to be a lot of corporate. There's going to be a lot of religious systems. You're going to see a lot of government shaking. All seats are moving. Churches, we still not done with the religions. Okay? You're going to see a lot of resignations and a lot of things be exposed even in the church. Hello. Excuse me, we're seeing some of those things already. You're going to see more scandals being exposed. But you keep your eye on Jesus, okay? And some of these things have to happen because Saul won't move out the way, okay? And so there has to be a passing of the mantle because there is a generational shift that needs to happen. And if we're being honest, we know a lot of people in the government should have been out, but they don't have terms, depending on the seat, especially, the higher up you go. If the boomer age corporate people would retire, millennials would make way more money, but people don't know how to leave. Now people have taken care of their families and their grown children and their families so much that they can't even afford to retire. And so these systems are shaking because mantles are passing. Okay, so you're going to see some generational shifts happen in this year as well. But here's the caveat to that. It has to be people that are prepared. So you already got to have your ducks in a row. You already got to have your credentials. You already need to have some work experience. You need to be doing the things. When David got anointed as king, he had already, before he killed Goliath, he had already done some of the things that he needed to do that gave him confidence that he could kill Goliath. You need to make sure that you are doing what you need to do. I have had people around me who are prophetic, should be prophets, very gifted, but you're going to hell. I can't do nothing with that. I can't do nothing with that. So you gotta sit down. On to the next person. Don't miss your mantle. Okay? Because the shift that's happening with the mantles is only going to the people that are prepared. The vessels that are prepared are the ones that are going to be doing. So be tired if you want to. Feel like not studying if you want to. Be numb if you want to. Don't miss out on what you've been praying for this whole time. Let that be a warning to you. Let that be a warning to you. Okay? Because God is opening the windows of time. There is this alignment that's happening, right? Destiny alignment is what we've been saying this whole time. There's this alignment that's happening. And so I think I'm usually 5-10 years ahead in the spirit. So I've been saying this for 10 years. It's like what is that movie? Polar Express. It's like Polar Express. You got your golden ticket, whatever that is, your book, your witty invention, your idea, and now the train is literally on the way, but you didn't write the book. You never created the song. You didn't do the website, whatever the thing is. And so you don't want to miss this train because it's going to speed you up to get you to where you need to be. It's going to be accelerated to make sure that you are aligned for destiny's sake. And there's this Kairos time that's happening. And so you can't hesitate. You can't afford to hesitate during this time because this window won't be open for long. Okay? It's just not going to be open for a very long time. So you need to be prepared. Okay? So Kairos time is with a K. It's a window of time. It is an opportune time. It is the right time. You can't hesitate. You can't afford to hesitate because this window will not reopen. Okay? So this is one of those. Delayed obedience is disobedience. You're not getting it being delayed. Stop being sluggish. Stop dragging your feet. Stop procrastinating. You need to be one of the prepared virgins. Okay? And the Lord showed me that relationships are going to be very important in this year too. And so you got to be obedient. But this is a hard one. Honor is going to be vital in your relationships. And honestly, honor is one of those things that's going to determine the amount of access that you get to certain people. I don't come to someone's house without a gift. I'm bringing some food. I'm bringing a drink. I'm bringing some flowers. If it's something that I know that you like, I'm not coming to your house empty-handed. I take it as a sign of disrespect. And if you allow me into your house, and I know, like, if we out in public, everybody's welcome. Come on, the more the merrier. Come to my house. We're curating the list a little bit more because this is where my kids sleep. I need to make sure that we're safe. I need to make sure that when you leave, the vibe is still what it needs to be here. Okay? So, honor is going to be vital. Honor is going to determine the amount of access. Everybody want to be your friend when you're I'm not your friend. I'm your leader. So that's why I don't talk to you like we're friends. I'm not your friend. Your friend's trying to send you to hell anyway. You really don't need me to be your friend. I'm here to sound the alarm. I'm here to make sure that you're doing what you need to do. I'm here to make sure that you get the glory. I'm here to make sure that you accomplish things that the Lord told you you needed to come down here and accomplish. And so there is a level of honor that comes with knowing that I'm your prophet. Because I hear God for you. But if you can't get up and pray, what am I doing? Does that make sense? Um, and so I don't come to my leaders without some in my hand, period. Just on the strength of honor. Because I know the access that they have to the throne room, and I know what that does for me and my family. And I be need on it. God. So even how you honor God is going to determine the access that he gives you concerning your mountains, but also your spiritual walk. So getting to know those deep things and the mind of God is going to come with honor. Okay. And so how you honor will also determine God and what he releases to you. And I'm talking about strength, access, and opportunity. But be encouraged, because this is a redemptive season. This is a season of redemption. This is a season of recovery where you will recover everything that the Lord has for you, but it's not going to be a comfortable season. And so I want to go back to discomfort. Discomfort is the sign. Discomfort is your sign that you're growing and you're doing what the Lord told you needed to do. Okay? Told you where you need to be. And so meditate on Joel chapter 2. You're going to be fasting and praying consistently. I want you to really ask and seek the Lord about your inner posture that he's requiring. And I want you to write out metrics for what overflow looks like and what you believe in the Lord to restore. The people and platforms that you're called to impact. But then also I want you to pay attention to your relationships. Because remember when we got to talking about behold, there are still these breathtaking wonders that you will see from the Lord happening in this year. And there will be great behold moments. Like, no, you really got to pause and look at this. Like, God is really moving. You went from not writing any books to just cranking them out, and boom, you're a New York Times bestseller. That is a behold moment. That does not just happen. And if we're being clear, most people, they just pay for the New York Times bestselling stamp. As long as I can sell 200,000 copies, I'm a New York Times bestseller. So they'll buy the books and push them to the bookstores and all the places, and then wait on you to recoup. They got to recoup. But we already bought it, so technically I'm New York Times bestseller. It's not how that's working. Okay? You're going to see some breathtaking wonders where only God could have done that. Only God could have done that because you were obedient, because you sacrificed your sleep and your plate so that way you can have access to him, because you honor what it is he's trying to give you. And there's going to be this great exchange that happens because of it, but you will recover all. So be encouraged. I hope that this blessed you, because y'all was real quiet during this live, just saying. So I hope that this blessed you. If it did, please type amen in the comments. Make sure you share with some friends that this could help for their year. And I feel like that's everything that I need to say right now. Anything else, I'll just say later. But let's get focused because we got a lot to do and we got a world to change. We got souls to save. And we need to go get rich. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Okay, bye, beautiful people.